All right, so welcome back. What you should have done is made sure that you had all the notes you needed thus far, and then you were to think about what are some of those health disparities, and what does that even mean? So health disparities are different diseases or problems that happen between different types of people. Okay, so what makes people different when it comes to health disparities? It could be race. That was one of the examples that I found. It could be eating habits. It could be genetics, more than just race. It could just be like maybe a parent has diabetes 1, and there's a chance that that child is going to also have diabetes 1. Okay, so these are just differences between different types of people, females versus males. That can also be one of the disparities. And what Healthy People 2030 is trying to do is make sure that everybody's on that even playing field when it comes to diseases and things that they can get sick with. Okay, so why do you believe or think that different types of people can have different health risks? I want you to journal a little bit about that in your notes. I think diet's a really big deal in the amount of exercise that people get. Um, Healthy being, it doesn't mean necessarily that you're within the BMI, but eating healthy, make sure you're getting those vitamins and minerals that you need to live. Okay? Being healthy, smart. So there's several things that you need to make sure you think about when becoming a healthy, smart person. Where do we find information? We need to make sure we're finding reliable information. Those are doctors, nurses, teachers with backgrounds in health. Okay, the internet can be a little tricky, and then we'll talk about medication bottles in a little bit. So how do we decide if that information is good or not? Okay, so making sure that our websites end in like .org, .edu, .gov. Okay, those are websites that people can't break into and change some information. Like Wikipedia seems to be like a thing that students use, and that is not a very good website because anybody can change that. Okay, make sure that we assess risks and benefits. Okay, in order to be healthy, smart, we need to make sure that we are weighing, is it worth the risk because there are so many benefits to it? But making sure we understand how this will help you. Okay, there may be some risks involved, but it might be better off in the long run. Okay, also, when I teach drug education, the first thing I like to talk about is medication bottles. Okay, in order for medication to go out to the public, I believe it's 5 years of trials before it can be given out. So they know exactly what's going to happen, and they tell you you need to eat it with food, or they don't want you to eat it with food, or you need to make sure you drink it with milk, because that helps release that medication. We also need to make sure we understand test results. Okay. I remember when my son got a COVID test, it read along the lines of it detection, but it didn't say like negative or positive. Okay, and that's something I had to really look into, and I looked at those .gov, .edu information charts, and it ended up being he was negative, so thankfully we didn't have to go through that. Okay. Health literacy. So health literacy is learning and understand basics from healthy information and services. Okay, so you need to make sure that you know where to find places that you need help with. If you need help with nutrition, you can go to a nutritionist. Okay, if you need help mentally and emotionally, you need to make sure you seek a counselor, and they are very good at pointing you in the right direction. Okay, so make sure you understand information and know where to go. And then how to use that information. Don't just go somewhere like a nutritionist and learn how to eat a healthy lifestyle and then don't use that information. That's not being health literate. That's going somewhere, learning information, and then not applying it. And that's the biggest thing when it comes to education, learning that information and then applying it. Okay.